Testing. 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 All right, we should be good. Shalom. Shalom. About to get started. Make sure my sound is good. All right, all right. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rahak HaKadosh. Double honors and salutations to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom to you, Akim and Aqua, also you children that believe on this word. Shalom to the speckled bird that's scattered around the four corners of the globe. This is your brother Kalak Har coming back at you with another video out here. You know, just a little live. Just wanted to get out the house and come out here and prophesy some of the things that's going on in the world right now. You know, you got many false prophets and false teachers are coming about in this world today and deceiving many. Many people have been deceived. Many people don't know truly what the MOTB is. You got Captain Tazariak talking about the MOTB and saying how it's, I believe he called it spiritual. If I'm mistaken, he called it something else other than what it is. You got what's that apostle? This fake apostle Curtis coming about and saying there won't be no Jacob's trouble. You know, you also got COVID on the rise. You got Australia just went into it's going to be a cashless society. What else? You got just many things that's going on in the world, and we're just gonna, you know, get into these false prophets and these false teachers that's coming about, that's lying to the masses and deceiving many. You know, many shall. What's that? Matthew. We can start at Matthew 24 and the verse 11. Started off there. Matthew 24 and 11. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. That's the name of this lesson. Because you got, like I said, Captain Tazariak telling you that the MOTB is something else than what it is. When we know it's the mandatory implantation of the RFID chip that's coming from the wicked elite that's going to try everybody in the world. Revelation 13, chapter 13 speaks on that. We can start it off there. Let me go to Revelation. Revelation 13 and 16. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in his right hand or in their foreheads. And that no man shall buy or sell, save he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that understandeth count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and the number is 666. So that if you go into that word mark, it means charagma. And if you go into the root, the etymology of that word, it means charax. It literally means something that's going to be implanted in your skin. So like these other groups, I believe, Believers of the Way says it's a spiritual mark. So does WFI, Wi-Fi, Watchmen for Israel. IUIC says it's something else. You know, all of these false doctrine and leading all these people, at the end of the day, they're just the undesirables of the Lord. They're what the Lord called the 2/3 in Zechariah the 13th chapter. Well, in Romans, the letter to the Romans, 11 and 7. You know, the ones that's blinded from this and is making this a stumbling block. The Lord don't want them. So the Lord they're been deceived. Look, Job, what is it? Job 12. We'll get back to the false prophets and teachers. Job 12 and 16. With him is strength and wisdom, and the deceived and the deceiver are his. So the ones that's been deceived and the ones that's doing the deceiving are his. That's the Lord. At the end of the day, let's go to Ezekiel 14th chapter, starting at the 9th verse. And if the prophet be deceived when he has spoken a thing, I, the Lord, has deceived that prophet, and I will stretch out my hand upon him and will destroy him from the midst of my people Israel. So the Lord is the one. The Lord is making an example. The Lord want to show you what's happened if you be a false teacher, if you be a false prophet. If you come out here and deceive the people and lie to the people about the prophecies that's in this Bible. if you lean into your own heart and your own understanding, and not to the understanding that's been given to you, from the apostles and elders on top. You know, many one body. There used to be one body in Yahushua. They going off. They was talking about there's no slavery, there's no spaceships, there's no Jacob's trouble. Same thing with Apostle Curtis. He's talking about there's no Jacob's trouble. Well, indeed, there's going to be Jacob's trouble. I'm going to read that again. And the prophet, Ezekiel 14:9, and if the prophet be deceived when he has spoken a thing, I, the Lord, has deceived that prophet, and I will stretch out my hand upon him and will destroy him from the midst of my people Israel. So like in today, Brother Polite, he got just sentenced for graping. He's a grapist now, and I got to use that word grape because you know how they funny with the algorithm of YouTube that take the video down. But he got sentenced today for 7 years and 10 months probation, or 10 years probation. We know that the missile's gonna be here before after 7 years. So it's like it's complete for him. It's over for him because he got to go in jail and rot, or he's in state prison rotting away. For when he came against the prophets, he came against the apostles in New York on 34th and 7th, and saying how they're grapists, and if they did this and this would be that, they wouldn't do it. But little does he know, look, he did it. He was saying that the black woman is God and all things like this. And look, a so-called black woman told on you and got your career destroyed. Now you in prison for the rest of your days. And to those missiles, if you don't get in prison, you know, you're going to have, you know, we don't wish anything on anybody like that. But at the same time, if you come against the prophets and you talk shit against the prophets, I mean, more than likely the Lord is going to take you out. Especially if they was in the Egyptology, Kemet community, these false gods, these false, look, what's that, Isaiah the 30th chapter, starting at the first verse, woe unto them that go down to Egypt. Let's go real quick. I'll come back to Ezekiel. Isaiah the 30th chapter. We'll start at the first verse. Woe to the rebellious children, say the Lord, that take counsel, but not in me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin unto sin, that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. All you Egyptology, all you Kemet communities, all you think that we go back to the Egypt when the Lord destroyed that place. The Lord took that place, he plagued it with a lot of plagues, and then he destroyed it. There's no more, there's just, all it is a memorial of Egypt. You can Google, you can, you know, but you Jake still hold that to this day. And you're going to lose, the Lord is going to destroy you because you trust in Egypt. Egypt means bondage. The real name for it is Mizraim. Only reason why it's called Egypt today is because of Alexander the Greek went in there and changed the name of it. You know, you worshiping Cleopatra, you worshiping that the human body with a cat head, you worshiping that cat, Apis the bull, Serapis Christus, and all of these Egyptology, or these Egypt gods that's in the land today, because this is the spiritual Egypt, as said in Revelation 11th chapter. Spiritually Sodom and Egypt. The same stuff that was going on back then, that time, is the same stuff that's going on now. So it's no different. So that's why the Lord got to get rid of you 2/3. And if you come against the prophets, it's going to be hell for you to pay. You know, the Lord has set us up as men to come out here. You know, we didn't do this of ourselves. We saw the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and how it was presented, and we said, wow, we want to be part of that, and the Lord made us part of it. The Lord put the Spirit on us to come out and profess his name, his truthful name, because again, you false prophets, you false teachers are saying that Yahweh, Yahshua, Anaya, Haya, whatever that shit is, all of these titles that the Lord has, they don't gave on the Lord. And it's not the Lord's name. The real true names of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son is Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shah. That's the true power, the true Lord, the true God of the Bible. Yahweh means He is, He exists. Yahweh Shah means He saves, He delivers. We're looking to be saved and delivered out of this wicked kingdom, Babylon the Great. Babylon means confusion. This place is confused. The people are confused. The children are confused. They poison in everything. They poison in the air. They poison in the water. They poison in your food. You can't even eat organic because they spraying it with all types of chemicals to keep it reserved. So nothing's real. Everything's tainted. What's that in we'll go back to Ezekiel in a second. Oh yeah, we'll go to Ezekiel, the 4th chapter. Was it 13? Yeah, Ezekiel the 4 and 13. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread amongst the Gentiles, whether I will drive them. So you're going to eat defiled things that you're here when you're here. Meaning lab-grown meat, tainted water. Every time you turn around, there's something else. There's something happening with something in the air, in the water, in the plastic, in the food. Every time you turn around, the hamburger is bad. Salakia. Every time you turn around, something is going bad that's here in Babylon. This place is not safe. This place is not safe. This place is not safe for you Israelites, man. The homeless population is keep rising up and up. You got people sleeping in their cars. You got people sleeping outside. The water stink out here. You know, the animals are pissed off. Everybody is in mourning because when the righteous or when the wicked is in rulership, the earth mourns. When the righteous is in rulership, the earth prevails, or the earth rejoices. Everybody will be rejoicing when the righteous are in rulership. And that's soon to come on this planet. It's going to be a new heaven and a new earth. Let's go back to Ezekiel. Ezekiel 14 and 9. And if the prophet be deceived when he has spoken a thing, I, the Lord, have deceived that prophet, and I will stretch out my hand upon him, and I will destroy him from the midst of my people, Israel. And they shall bear the punishment of their iniquity. The punishment of the prophet shall be even as the punishment of him that seeketh unto him, that the house of Israel may go no more astray from me, neither be polluted any more with their transgressions, but that they may be my people, and I may be their God, say the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, our power. So the Lord is going to get rid of you false teachers, you coming up against the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Y'all be on the comment board, you know, saying all your extra shit, saying that you don't believe, saying that if you're a teacher and if you wanna get on be a keyboard warrior, get your ass out here and preach the gospel. If you think you got a different gospel, or if you coming up against this gospel, because that's all I see in the community. Or when people get on the comment board, they just come against the prophets. They say we're wrong. We don't know what we're talking about. What is that? Isaiah. What do they say? And Isaiah the 30th. We're going back to Isaiah 30. Isaiah 30 and Isaiah 30 and 9. I'm going to start at 9. Because it's a lot of you jakes that come against the word. You know, a lot of so-called white people or people that don't know, they was like, damn, what's going to be our fate? You know, we want to listen to that. We want to know what the hell is going on. You know, you're going to have your scoffers here and there, but it's a lot of you jakes, man, that come up against this word. Because you stiff-necked, like the Lord said. You're 2/3. And the Israel is like the sand of the sea. Look, if I'm looking out here to the sand of the sea, it's a lot of sand out there that can't be numbered. Hosea 1 and 10. The Israelites can't be numbered. This is Isaiah 30 and 9. That this is a rebellious people. I'm going to start at 8. Now go, Isaiah 30:8. Now go, write it before them in a table and note it in a book, that it may be for a time to come, forever and ever. That this is a rebellious people, lying children that would not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers were prophets, see not unto the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things. What's the smooth things? Saying there's not going to be Jacob's trouble. They want to hear that. They want to hear what Apostle Curtis, this fake apostle, saying that he used to teach that Jacob's trouble, but now he teaches that it's going to be for the Europeans. What the fuck is he talking about, man? That's not biblical, right? If we're going to come into the kingdom, it's going to be through much tribulation. A lot of us brothers, a lot of the brothers that you see on the highways and byways are going to be persecuted by these Romans. Like the scripture says, you're going to be put in jail for 10 days, be faithful unto death, and I give you a crown of life. Some shall be beheaded for the testimony of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. These things you got to ponder on as a man of the Lord that's out here teaching this doctrine, especially if you're teaching it 100%. And then woe to you that's not teaching it 100%. Now, we're not talking about 95%. We're not talking about 99.98%. No, we want 100% truth and doctrine. You want the 100% truth. You don't want holes and patches in your doctrine, or you don't want holes and patches in the truth. You want it 100% according to these scriptures. So we're going to give it to you 100%, whether you like it or not, whether you're offended or not, whether it's a stumbling block or not. You're going to get the scriptures. You're going to get what's in the scriptures. I'm going to start again. Which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not, and to us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. So they want you to prophesy lies to them. They want you to tell them lies. Everything's going to be all right. The Lord ain't going to destroy everything. He's going to come back and he's just going to do a little flip-flop. He's going to say, Esau, you need to give these Israelites their land back. You need to do all of this. You need to give all the wealth to them, and everything going to be like a peaceful, it's going to be a peaceful transition of worlds. No, Esau was given the sword in the fatness of the earth. The sword of today is your modern day weapons, your armies, your tanks, Space Force. All of these things Esau has been given. Look what he did to Maui. You think that's a coincidence? With all the technology and things that we got on the road, you couldn't stop that from happening? No, because they purposely did it. They purposely put it out there to destroy that land so these wicked elite can go buy it up and do whatever they want with it. Because the wicked are not true. They can't get anything truth mill. They got to go take it. They got to go destroy to get what they want. And the Lord gave them that power, pursuant to Genesis the 27th chapter, when Jacob and Esau, Jacob supplanting Esau for his birthright, which is the kingdom of heaven. Now Esau ain't getting that. Now he's pursuing his brother Jacob. You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. The Esau is pursuing you left and right, and he's gonna keep coming down even harder, because he knows his time is up. He knows his time is up. Verse 11: Get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. Wherefore does say the Holy One of Israel, because you despise the word and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon. Therefore this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out the high wall, whose breaketh cometh suddenly in an instant, and he shall break it as is breaking of the potter's vessel that is broken in pieces, and he shall not spare, so that there shall not be found. So the Lord is not going to spare you for you coming against the prophets. The Lord is not going to spare you for talking all that shit. Remember, every idle word that man shall speak shall give account for it in the day of judgment. So everything you saying, everything your actions. Remember, there's many scriptures in here that say that you're weighed by your actions. We are weighed by our actions. Let's go to Ezekiel 13, and I'm going to start at 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel that prophesy, and say unto them that prophesy out of their own hearts, hear ye the word of the Lord. That prophesied out of their own hearts. That go, just put on a garment. Look, you got many of them that put on garments, the border of blue, say they Israelites. Look, the Lord gonna come down on you first, pursuant to 1 Peter 4:17. The Lord gonna come down on you Israelites first, the ones that know they're Israel. And the word is going out throughout the four corners of the globe. People come up all the time. I was at camp I think it was last Friday. Oh yeah, I know about the Israelites. I don't know too much about it, but I heard about them. So people are paying attention because this gospel is being preached in the four corners of the world. And then after that, guess what? The end coming. But we know that the MOTB got to come. We know that prophecies has to come. Look, like I said about Australia. Australia is now going to a cashless society. That cashless society, what is it going to lead up to? It's going to lead up to the mark of the beast. There's no more cash. Cash is not king anymore. Same thing that's going to happen in this land. There ain't going to be no cash. People are going to be having a headache. Now, thinking of the MOTB, how are they going to implement it? You know, how they going to get you to take it? How they going to coerce you to take that chip? How they going to do that? You got to meditate on it. You got to think about that. We know it's coming, but how are they going to do it? You know, there might be a crisis, some big crisis like Cornflakes 19. They already gearing that back up. I just saw in, I think, not Texas, but 2 states that the mask mandate is coming back. You know, kids got to go to school with masks again. They're pushing that, Jabberoo, that jump shot, Beetlejuice. They're pushing that again. You know, and it might come through the way of the vaccine. And I shouldn't have said that because YouTube would take that down. But it might come as the Maxine Waters. You never know how the Lord has got this operated out here. But you can think about it. Maybe it would be in the Maxine Waters. Maybe there would be some type of crisis where the power go out, or the money system come to a fault, and everybody debt is deleted, everything is deleted away, and they got it. You say, hey, if you want some money, if you want to start over again, you got to come get this. You got to come do this. You know, Esau is cunning. He's gonna do something where you're gonna feel like you need to take that. He gonna make it so dire that you can't eat. You can't, like it says in the chapter, Revelation 13:16. You can't eat, you can't sell, you can't do anything without that mark. So how is this man gonna do it? We don't know yet. We're still waiting for that prophecy, but we know it's coming because they already have it in Sweden. They already have it in Switzerland. These people are lining up to take it because when Esau implemented, right, you're gonna have like 80 to 90% of the population go say, yeah, I want that. They're going to be fighting online for it. They're going to be doing all types of crazy ass shit to get to that mark because they're blinded. They've been spiritually blinded from the fact. And then you're going to have the ones that I'm not taking that just because I'm not taking it. They don't have this law. They don't have this understanding. They just be like, I'm not taking it. And you don't have the ones that's in the know. And Esau going to know the ones that's in the know, because he's going to come down and hard and pursue against them. But you got to trust in the Lord that he's going to save you out of that. That he's going to make a way for you to escape from that. Like I said, not all of us are going to be able to escape from that. Not all of us are going to be able to just flee. But all of us, some of us will be, like I said, martyrs for this thing. Some of us are going to go hide in various places. The Lord is going to say, hey, you got to get out of here. Get in your car and go. And I'm going to lead you to the next spot. But you got to have faith. You got to believe. You ain't going to do this by yourself. You're not going to get out of this by yourself. Like the scriptures say, Revelation 3 and verse 10, Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep you from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And now, if you look up that word "world" right there in Revelation 3 and 10, I believe it's oikiomini, and that means that the inhabitants of the earth. So, but the Lord is saying here, He'll keep us from the hour of temptation, but you got to trust and you got to believe in Him. That's the elect. You got to trust, you got to believe in Him that He's going to keep you from that hour of temptation. What's that hour of temptation? When they come into the mandatory implantation of the RFID chip. The mandatory implantation of it. And these false prophets are telling you it's something else than what it is. They don't look up the words. They don't look up the words in the Hebrew and Greek. They laugh at us, starting on Apostle Tahar on down, GMS on down. They laugh at us for looking up words and going into the definition and the etymology of words. Being like the Church of Berea, searching out everything. Don't the scripture say in the Apocrypha? We'll come back to Ezekiel, the 13th chapter. What the scripture say in the Apocrypha? Ecclesiasticus 5 and 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great or small matter. You got to know this stuff. You got to know that what the MOTB is. You got to understand that. You got to know not to take it, because if you take it, you're gonna feel the wrath of the Lord, which you're gonna be burnt. You're gonna be missile food. Now the Lord is gonna destroy all 5,000 miles of United States and then certain parts around the world. He's not gonna destroy the whole world. Now it's gonna be people still alive that has the MOTB while the elect goes up and get beamed back down. But the ones that take it, it's not gonna be a good day for you. Because 144,000 and those 1/3 women, men, and children are going to pursue you, and you're going to be either put in chains, in servitude, hardcore bondage, because that's what's going to come back. The Edomites are still going to be around because they got to procreate, so is the other nations, for our servitude in the kingdom. They got to build that kingdom up. It's going to be gold, it's going to be marble, it's going to be so astounding. You get a rest when you get there, Jake. You 144,000, you get a rest when you get there. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about a 401k. You don't have to worry about getting extra hours at the job site, man. God damn. It's like you work, all you do is work. work, pay bills, work, pay bills. That's not a way to live, man. That's not a way to live. Even a tree like, man, I'm tired of this shit too. I'm ready for the Lord to bring those missiles. I'll come back again. Even the trees even the scripture even talk about the trees being mad and being upset. Salakia. Make sure you're good. Even the trees, the animals are pissed off. Look, like a couple months ago, you had orcas killing or tipping over boats. Salakia. Every time you turn around, a damn wild beast is killing somebody in the woods, or pursuing or biting somebody in the woods. All types of madness from the animals. There's a scripture in the Apocrypha that talks about the teeth of the wild beast, or the teeth of the wild beast coming against people. Let's go back to Ezekiel 13. Get on more of these false prophets and these false teachers. Brother Polite, like I said, the Egyptology stuff. He came against the grape doctrine because the word grape means to grab. It means to grab. It don't mean to like what Esau make it seem like today. But you would go to prison for that, man, if you did that today. You crazy as hell. Hey, that's why I say don't come against the prophets. Like, look, I was on the highways and byways one month, I can't remember, but it was a prior to a couple months ago, and this guy came up smoking weed and saying how he can smoke weed and where does it say it in the Bible that you can't smoke weed and things like that. I told him straight up, man, you're defiling your temple, and if you don't stop and you keep coming against this, the Lord gonna get you. And then he came back 2 weeks later and said he only has 6 months to live. And I said, hey, man, I told you. Say got lung cancer or something like that, man. It's not hard. It's not rocket science. Ezekiel 13:1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel that prophesied, and saying to them that prophesy out of their own hearts, hear ye the words of the Lord. Thus say the Lord power, woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing. I.e., Brother Polite. Brother Polite recorded himself shooting up a Bible. Why would you do that? Why would you shoot up a Bible? This is the word of the Lord. I'm telling you, the Lord is going to get you back if the Lord has a sense of humor. Because, like I said, he said that the black woman was, the so-called black woman was God. He didn't believe in the Bible. He didn't believe in what the Bible was saying. He didn't believe in any of the prophecies in it. He don't believe the Lord was coming back. Like, this is his confessing to the truth about what he thinks about it. That's why it says, thus say the Lord, power, woe unto the foolish prophet that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing. O Israel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the desert. Now, a fox in the desert is conniving. A fox in the desert will tell you, hey, it's some water over here, come over here. And then you'll go, and there's no water there. That's what the fox in the desert will do. Let me keep reading. Ye have not gone up into the gaps, neither have ye made up to the hedges of the house of Israel, to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord. They have seen vanity and lying divination, saying, the Lord say, and the Lord have not sent them, and they have made others to hope that they would confirm the word. The Lord ain't sending you false prophets out here, man. He sent the man of the Lord out here to profess his name, to profess the downfall of Babylon the Great, to let you know what's going on, to let you know who the children of Israel are, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. The Lord set us up to do that. And if you're not confessing that, if you're not calling on Yahweh, Yahweh Shah, because God is just a title. Jesus Christ, the letter J didn't come until 1524. These are false. That's a false image. So if you're not calling on the Lord the truthful right way, which he gave the name to Moses in Exodus the 3rd chapter in around the 18th verse, I am that I am, that translates to he is. Wind feel good out here today. Still stink. But we prophesied in the name of the Lord. We're standing boldly for the name of the Lord. It says, Ezekiel 13:7, have ye not seen a vain vision, and have ye spoken a lie divination? Whereas ye say, the Lord saith, albeit I have not spoken. Therefore thus say the Lord, because ye have spoken vanity and seen lies, therefore the Lord, behold, I am against you, and say the Lord power, and my hand shall be upon the prophets that see vanity and that divine lies. They shall not be in the symbol of my people, neither shall they be written in the writings of the house of Israel. Neither shall they enter into the land of Israel, and they shall know that I am the Lord thy power. So you false prophets out there, you false teachers, you're not teaching 100% doctrine according to this Bible. You're going around it. You're saying this is this means that. and not speaking 100%. You're not looking up words. You're not doing what you're supposed to do in the Bible. Salakia, this wind is blowing. You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And so the Lord got to get rid of you. Let me go back to Ezekiel, because there's still some. Ezekiel Ezekiel 13:9, and my hand shall be upon the prophets that see vanity and that divine lies. They shall not be in the assembly of my people, neither shall they be written in the rights of the house of the Israel. Neither shall they enter into the land of Israel, and ye shall know that I am the Lord thy power. I am the Lord thy power. I'm gonna keep reading because this part when I want to say about the mortal. Okay, yeah. Uh, Ezekiel 13:10, because they have seduced my people, saying peace, and there was no peace, and one built up a wall, and lo, others deballed it with untempered mortar. Now, the untempered mortar, that's like you a contractor that's building a house. If your contractor don't build a house right, who's going to get sued for that? Who's it going to fall under? If you're in the house and the house start to crumble down, the foundation start to crumble down, it just got built up. You know, the contractor is going to get blamed for that. Now you're going to get blamed for teaching these people a lie, for lying to the people, for coming out here or coming out on the highways and byways and telling the people that the MOTB is sleeping with white women. That's a damn lie. You know? Or the MOTB is what's that? What they were saying, IUC. The MOTB is Salakia. I can't even think of what they were saying. Ooh, it'll come to me. But they're saying that it was the National Treaty Organization, the trading Rebargo, or what is it called? I can't even think of it right now. But it don't matter. Like I said, selling that is sleeping with white women, or it's a spiritual mark, or it's fornication, or it's all of this extra shit that is not pertaining to the Bible. These other camps just want to fill their bellies. They want to get these followers. They want to get these mass followers. You know, they are waking up the children of Israel, but that's the truth is going out. The truth is going out about who the true children of Israel is and who the kingdom is for. Because people will say, well, if that's the real people, it don't matter because heaven is for everybody. And that's a damn lie. We've been going through hell for centuries, and still you devils been pursuing us and bringing us through hell along with the Lord through the Lord, and somehow the kingdom is for you too. Yeah, you're going to be there, but you're going to be building shit. You're going to be doing other shit. You're not going to be able to enjoy it. Look, what it say, the so-called white man's heaven is the black man's hell, and vice versa. This place is vexing day in and day out because we know too much about what the hell is going on. We know too much. It's a nice whip. Hey, this one dude just rode by and said, I love you. That was funny. Let me keep reading. Let's go to Titus 1:10. Titus 1:10. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially the day of the circumcision. What's the circumcision? The ones that know they're Israelites. You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. You talk so much shit, man. You come up against this doctrine. You telling us what you know and what you think it is. I'm going to read that again. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially the day of the circumcision, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which are not or ought not for filthy lucre's sake. One of these themselves, even a prophet of their own, says, the Saracens, they're always liars, evil beasts, slow bellies. So you teaching your own doctrine, the doctrine that you haven't not heard from the apostles and the elders. You're teaching your own ways. What's that in Hebrews? Let me get that real quick. Hebrews 5 and 12. Hebrews 5 and 11. I'm going to start at 10. Hebrews 5 and 10. For God is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have showed towards his name, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. And that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister, and we desire that every one of you do show the same diligence to the full assurance of the hope unto the end, that ye be not slothful, but followers of them who through faith and patience inherit the promises. That's not what I was looking for. I was looking for you ought to be teachers. For the time come when you ought to be teachers. Is it? No, it's 12 and 5. But nevertheless, the patience, the inherit the promises. We know the promise is the kingdom of heaven. Let's go back to let's go to Jeremiah, the 5th chapter. Jeremiah 5 and 30. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. A wonderful and horrible thing is committed in the land. 31. The prophets prophesy falsely, and the priests bear rule by their means, and my people love to have it so. And what will ye do in the end of thereof? So they prophesied falsely. The Lord ain't sent you. What's that scripture? The prophets have a dream. That's going into MLK. Martin Luther King. Didn't he have a dream that everybody be together and all of that? Yo, before they killed the man, you know they told he started to realize like, oh, he went to Israel, came back and said, I messed up. This ain't for the whole world. This is only for you blacks. They didn't know about the Latinos and Native Americans then. But his people at the time, the line of Judah, because I'm pretty sure MLK was a Judite. You know, he did a lot of stuff. Smoked a lot of weed. Had sex with various women. MLK was all into that. You didn't even know that, did you? Why do you think they hold him to such a high in society like this? You know? Because he prophesied falsely. He said that all of these people was going to come together, which we're coming together now. The wheat and the tares. The wheat is the elect. The tares are the ones that's going to be destroyed on this side. You 2/3, and then you other nations. You're going to be destroyed together. But the Lord is going to sift that wheat out of those tares. Because you got black Edomites, so-called black Edomites out here. And then you got so-called white Israelites out here. And from the other nations where the Israelites were scattered. Just look at Thomas Jefferson family. A bunch of so-called black people. They look cocoa brown. they cocoa brown, but they got that. You can tell they part of um, their terrors at the end of the day. You can tell they're from Thomas Jefferson because your seed line goes back to your father. It goes back to who your father is at the end of the day. I'm going to read that again. The prophets prophesied falsely, and the priests bear rule by their names, and my people love to have it so. And they will do in the end of thereof. What would you do when you find out that these are false prophets? That the ones that didn't confess the name of the Lord. Look, there's no J, U's, or E's in the Paleo Hebrew. There was no V's in the Paleo Hebrew. So the name can't be Yahweh. It can't be Yahshua. Yahshua is interchangeable with Joshua. It's the same name. He says he delivers. But it's not the same as Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach, Yahweh, Yahya, or whatever that shit is. Emmanuel. Y'all, people like to say anything. Or you can say anything to the Lord. You can say his name anyway. No, you cannot. We are married into the Lord. That is our husband. You can't call if you're a woman, you can't call your husband a different name. You can't say, oh, hey, Brad. They'll be like, who the fuck you talking about? Who is Brad? Just like the Lord, he ain't going for that. This is passionate. This is intimacy. That's why it says fornication and adultery is likened to going into it's like sleeping with another man's woman, or a woman sleeping with a woman sleeping with men that already have men, or sleeping with more men that already have men. See, people know, man. People ride by giving the head bumps and the fist pumps. People know. But fornicating with other women, which is likened to, what's that in Revelation 14? These are ones that wasn't defiled with women. Because you got a crazy ass doctrine out there that say the 144,000 didn't sleep with any women. What the fuck are you talking about? That makes no sense. Because in the kingdom, we're going to have abundance. We're going to have children like crazy. Look, man, hey, the lion, the lion can mate up to 50 times a day. Did you know that? Okay, yeah. Revelation 14 and 4. I'm going to start at, well, shit, let's break down all the way to 4. Revelation 14 and 1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. 144,000 having their father's name written in their foreheads with the lamb. The lamb is Yahweh Shah. And having the father's name of Yahweh written in their foreheads. Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah? I'm going to read that again. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. And I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters, and a voice of a great thunder. And I heard a voice of the harpers harping with harps. And they sung as it was a new song before the throne, before the four beasts and the elders, talking about the angels. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000, which were redeemed from the earth. That's the governing body of the next world, or the next earth, to not the next, like it's not a new earth, but a refreshed earth and a refreshed heaven. The governing body, that 144,000 men. Then you got your 1/3 women, men, and children. Which were redeemed from the earth. Verse 4, here's the point. And these are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which followed the Lamb wheresoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb. This was the elect of the nation of Israel. The 144,000 men. The governing body of the next world to see. The next new heaven and the new earth. That means refresh. Kainos in the Greek. It means refreshing. So there's going to be a refreshing of a new heaven and a new earth. And 144,000 are going to be the governing body of it, which you 1/3 women, men, and children that believe on this word. You got to believe. You got to have faith. Faith is dead without works. Where's your works? Like I did a video on the Jake talking about his works is building some empire here in Babylon the Great. Man, they're going to destroy this place, man. I saw an article on RT. It said that World War III has already started. What is that? Revelation, is it 13? 11? 11 and 8? No, 11 and 14. Revelation 11:14. The second woe has passed. What's a woe? That means destruction. Second woe has passed, and behold, the third woe comes quickly. That third woe is on the horizon. They've been fighting for the last 2 years or so, 3 years almost, 2 years. So it's on the horizon, 3 years. They've been fighting for the last 3 years. And they're pushing it. They keep pushing it. Because even, look, the way America got set up was through the British, getting that independence from the USSR or going against, trying to get away from the USSR, which is Russia, which is coming back today and is lot to do the same shit. That's who Russia, the Lord is building up Russia along with the allies of China and Korea to go against Babylon the Great, along with NATO. That 7 heads and 10 horns, the 7 heads, Germany Major, Germany Minor, British, French, Italy, or Rome, what is it, Spain? I'm missing one more. But the 10 horns is likened to the ECC, European Union. Today, and I think it's over 28 right now. But back in the day, I think it was the Anglo-Saxons, the Lubanox, or you got to look it up. But the 10 horns today is the extension of the EU, which is 28 today. They are going to come against America. So you're going to have Russia, China, Iran, Korea's, and the NATO and the EU come against America to blow it up. And who does America back up? They back up the Holy Land. So it's going to be those two versus all of these other countries. And it's not going to end pretty. And that's 100% facts. That's teaching the right doctrine. If we go into Ezekiel the 38th chapter, it's talk about Magog and Gog coming back and coming from that country from the north. That's Russia. Those stars falling from the heavens, those are nuclear missiles. I'm going to read 14 and 4 again. And these are the which are not defiled with women. Remember I said adultery is likened to you cheating on the Lord when you go into these other philosophies and these other doctrines that's of the world. That's committing fornication. That's committing adultery against the Lord. It says, these are which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. They're born again. These are those that which follow the Lamb whatsoever he goeth, and they were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits of the Most High and the Lamb. And in their mouth were found no guile, for they were without fault before the throne of the Most High. So we're going to be without fault, the hopeful elect, at the end of the day. We're teaching this gospel. The good news. That's what what gospel means, the good news. We're teaching this good news to the hopeful elect. Because I don't know if I'm part of the elect. I'm doing the work that the Lord's told me to do, but hey, the Lord might take that candlestick and blow it out. You never know. So that's why you got to be diligent, because you've been called into this thing. You got to believe, you got to have faith. You got to ask the Lord to open your eyes up to this book. You got to be unsealed to it, because it's sealed to us, or it's we know about it, pursuant to Daniel. We know Jacob's trouble is coming. Jeremiah 30 or Isaiah 30. Because I said like Curtis, Apostle Curtis, this fake apostle, hold on. This fake apostle Curtis, Revelation 2:2, I know thy works and thy labor and thy patience, and how thou cannot bear them which are evil, and thou hast tried them which say they are apostles and are not, and hast found them liars. You're not an apostle, Apostle Curtis. He was crying because we're not gonna fret at his doctrine. He's teaching that Jacob's trouble, Isaiah 30:7. Let's get it real quick. He's teaching Jacob's trouble is for the Europeans. It says, oh wait, was it Salakia? Give me a second. Oh, Jeremiah 30:7, Salakia. It says, at last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. I'm going to read that again. At last, that means woe, destruction. For that day is great, so that none like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And if we go to Daniel, the 12th chapter, Daniel 12:1, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, Jacob's trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one of them that shall be found written in the book. Just like Jeremiah 30 said he should be saved out of it, the Archangel Michael is going to stand up for us and he's going to save us out of it. If we go to Matthew 24th chapter, Matthew 24:30, it says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and glory, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from four winds, from one end of the earth to the other. So the Lord is going to gather his elect when Jacob troubles comes. They're going to be martial law. They're going to be troops coming down your street with army tanks. You're going to be put in prison. They're going to be trying to torture you and do. Look, hey, Peter was saved out of jail. Peter was saved out of jail. Salakia. Peter was saved out of jail. The jail. Daniel was fed by who? Daniel was in the lion's den. He got fed. Who got fed by a raven? Slipping my mind real quick. Was it Elijah? Elijah got fed by a raven. So the Lord, look, man. That's why you got to trust in the Lord. You can't trust in man. Man is going to deceive you. You got to do your own research. You got to read these scriptures. You got to be diligent. Because like it says, many false prophets are out here deceiving many. This is Malachi 3:17. And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spares own son that serveth him. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serve God and to him that serveth him not. And that goes into you false prophets out here. We know who the righteous are and we know who the righteous are not. Look, when I first came into this thing, I was looking at Wi-Fi, Sakari. Let's go through the truth. Wi-Fi was everywhere. Like these people, these groups, they just wear T-shirts and fringes. When the Bible is clear on wearing a garment down to the foot, with border of blue. We didn't wear T-shirts back in the day. If you look up when a T-shirt came about, I think it was like the 1800s. So we didn't wear T-shirts with fringes. We wore garments down to our foot. You know, we wore garments down to our foot. Like I said, their doctrine is everywhere. They was trying to say, one of the guys in the camp was saying that the leaders, we should be in unity. Look, this is not about all Israel waking up, because the Lord is going to kill 2/3 of his people, and he's going to kill the ones that's Israelite, that know they're Israelites. So how you get around that? So it's not about unity. It's not about a mass awakening of the Israelites. Yeah, it's good and grand that you're waking up to you being Israel, but your head is going to be hanging low in the kingdom. You're going to be like, man, I should have listened to the prophets. I should have called on the name of the Lord. Maybe I'll be in the kingdom too. I'll be enjoying those first fruits with Yahushua reigning 1,000 years. Immortality. But you didn't listen. You didn't hearken. You were stiff-necked. You wanted to do your own deal. You wanted to think of your own way about this. Let's go. Sakari, they in gangster mode. They got vests on at camp. They got guns on the side of their hips. Look, it talks about in Matthew, the Sadducees and Pharisees, some of them had daggers. They wore daggers. Same thing with Sakari. They wearing hats. When the knowledge can't even get to the top of your head, you blocking the top of your head so you can't receive knowledge. IUIC is money hungry, speaking on wrong doctrines. Telling you that the MOTB is something else than what it is. Bishop Nate is in fake magazine essence, exalting himself up. This is not of us, man. We didn't get this information from us. We got it from the Most High, the Lord. The Lord gave us this, so all power, glory, and honor goes back to the Lord at the end of the day. It's not into us. We didn't come up with this doctrine ourselves. Now, we are reincarnated, and the prophets are subject to the prophets. I think that's 1 Corinthians 14. The prophets are subject to the prophets. Amos 3 and 8. The secrets go into the prophets. So the true men of the Lord are going to be standing up and speaking the true doctrine of the Lord. He's going to be out here on the highways and byways where the people are. Rain, sleet, or snow if it's not raining too hard, you know. If it's not snowing too hard. It's going to get cold. We're probably going to have a really cold winter. But we're going to do the best we can. Even if we have to do a lesson in the car. But we're going to prophesy until the Lord tells us not to prophesy. We're going to feed the lambs. Look, if you love me, feed my lambs. That's what Yahushua said to Peter. If you love me, feed my lambs. Who are the lambs? Or feed my sheep. Sorry, Salakia. Feed my sheep. If you love me, feed my sheep. Remember, the Lord is only coming back for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. It says that in Matthew 10. 10 and 6. It says, Matthew 10 and 6, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. The lost sheep of the house of Israel. And this in red. So we know Yahushua is speaking here. He didn't say go to the whole world and preach to them. Well, we are preaching to the whole world because the gospel got to go to the whole world. First and foremost, in Isaiah 34, starting at the first verse, we're prophets to the nations. Isaiah 34 and 1, come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken unto ye people, let the earth hear all that there is therein, the world, and all the things that come forward. For the indignation of the Lord is upon the nations, and his fury upon their armies. He utterly destroyed them and have delivered them to the slaughter. So we're prophets to the world. Everybody got to receive this. Everybody got to know what the hell is going on. There's no secret. There's no secret. Salakia. There's no secret. The lost sheep of the house of Israel. The kingdom is for you. Acts 14. Acts 14 and 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith that we must go through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High. So you're going to have to go through much tribulation to get to the kingdom of the Most High. That's part of Jacob's trouble. I just read it in Daniel. I just read it in Matthew about the persecution and all the things that's going to happen during that time. When that mandatory implantation of the MOTB come about and what's going to happen before that. The Lord is not slack on his promise. He's going to deliver a lot of the elect. Most of the elect is here in Babylon the Great. So I hope y'all can hear me. A few more scriptures, then we can close it out. That's a long ass train. Ooh, that's stinky stink. What? Isaiah 62 and 6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace, day or night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silent, and give him no rest, till he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. The Lord has sworn by his right hand, and by the arm of his strength, surely I will no more give thy corn to the meat for thy enemies, and the sons of strangers shall not drink thy wine, for the which thou hast labored. So the Lord has set watchmen up for Israelites, man. We're coming out here for the Israelites. We're not coming out here for the whole world. The Lord has set us up for watchmen for Israel. What do? We watch and pray and we report on what's going on in the world. These epistles. Back in the day, the prophets used to write it down. Now today, these epistles are these videos that we do. That's on the internet. Look, one of the Rothschilds said the internet should have never been made. The internet should have never been made. Because we're finding out, we're searching out as Esau's skirt is being lifted at the end of the day. Like I said, we're watchmen for the nation of Israel. We're watching out for the times. We're making sure we know what the hell is going on. Let's get Second Esdras, the 9th chapter. Second Esdras 9:1. He answered me then saying, and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spoke of those things from the beginning, from the days that were before thee, even to the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. So the end is coming. The end is on the doorsteps. Measure thou the time diligently. We are watchmen for Israel. We're watching out and we're reporting back. The angels are taking notes, and we're reporting back and telling you what's going on in the world. Like I said, World War III, they said it's already here. The third war is already here. Australia is going cashless. You got many false prophets rising up saying the MOTB is not what it is. You got people coming against the prophets and saying that the doctrine is bad, that the doctrine is not real. They're coming up against it, and look what's happening to them. Like I said, we don't wish ill will on anybody, but if you come against the prophets, that's what's going to happen. Through the power, honor, and glory through Yahweh Shah. Like I said, measure the times diligently in itself. Let's go to Isaiah 26:8. Isaiah 26:8. Yeah, in the way of thy judgments, O Lord, have we waited for thee. The desire of our soul is to thy name, and to the remembrance of thee. With my soul have I desired thee in the night. Yeah, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. For when thou judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the whole of the world will learn righteousness. I'm gonna read that again. Yeah, in the way of thy judgments, O Lord, have we waited for thee. The desires of our soul is to thy name, and to the remembrance of thee. With my soul have I desired thee in the night. Yeah, with the spirit within me will I seek thee early. Because we're supposed to be, what's that, Jeremiah 6? Let me get that real quick. Sorry, Salakia. Is it Jeremiah 6? 6 and 16. It's not, but thus say the Lord, because that remembrance, thus say the Lord, stand ye in the ways and seek and ask for the old paths where is the good way, and where walk therein, and ye shall find rest in your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. Also I have set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But they said they would not hearken. You're not going to hearken to this. It says, yeah, with my soul have I desired thee in the night. Isaiah 26:9. With my spirit within me I seek thee early. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the whole world will learn righteousness. So you're going to learn righteousness regardless of the fact. You're going to learn it sooner or later. But that remembrance, if we go to John, couple more scriptures we can close it out. John 14, is it 6? Salakia, give me a second. Oh, 26. Okay. John 14 and 26. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, who the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things and bring all things to remembrance, whatsoever I said unto you. So this is a remembrance. We're remembering the Lord's name. If the Lord says he's going to bring you to remembrance, you think he's going to have you calling on Jesus Christ? JC Whitebread? He's not going to have you calling on that. He's not going to have you calling on that. He's not going to have it. You're going to call on the Paleo Hebrew, the Lashawan Kadash, the Paleo Hebrew. You're going to call on the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son in the Paleo Hebrew. You're not going to call on it in any other language. And everybody can get this. Even if you East Asian or South Asian or India, everybody can call on Yahweh Yahweh Shah. Everybody can. And I will bring you to remembrance. Let's get one more scripture and I can close it out. Jude, the brother of Yahushua. Yahushua had 4 brothers and 2 sisters. Josie, Simon, James, and Jude. And then he had 2 sisters that they don't talk about the names. His biological sisters. Jude 1 and I start at 4. For there are certain men crept in unawares, who before of old ordained to the condemnation of ungodly men, turning the grace of the Most High into lasciviousness, and denying the only Lord power and our power, or our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach. Here's the point. I would therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this, how the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterwards destroyed them that believed not. So knowing and putting you in remembrance that the Lord destroyed Egypt and saved you out of it. Just like he's going to destroy Babylon the Great and to save his elect out of it. We remember that. We don't have recollection. We can't tell you, yeah, I was in Egypt. I was, doing this and that and that. No. But we have faith, man. Our faith, if you had a little bit of faith of a mustard seed, because if you look at a mustard plant, that seed is like that big, but the plant is like this huge. If you had that little faith, you'll be all right. Because that hour of temptation is coming. Where they're going to try everybody. They're going to try everybody. So with that said, I want to give all honor, glory, praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rahak HaKadosh. Double honors and salutations to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom to you, Akim and Aqua, also your children that believe on this word. Shalom to the speckled bird that scattered around the 4 corners of the globe. This is your brother Kalakar out here in Tacoma, Washington on the water. Just wanted to get out the house and do a little video today, do a little live lesson about you false prophets and you false teachers that's coming about in these last days and deceiving many. We're not false teachers, we're not false prophets. We're talking about the 100% truth of the Bible and who is it for and who's the kingdom of heaven is for. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Abanawa Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Shalom. Hope to see you on the next video.